Hi everyone, and welcome to another Unit Forward moving picture. I'm Alex, editor of unitforward.com, and today I'm going to take a look at campaign book Hades, which was the second campaign book to be released for Dust Warfare. So let's dive straight in and have a look. So as you can see, Dust Warfare, campaign book Hades. Just like campaign books Verograd, it is a softcover book, nice and bendy. Some fluff on the back. In a frozen urban wasteland, the great powers fight on. And so, yep, that's all that. Hades introduces the underground war in Sverograd. So we're still in Sverograd, we're still in 1947, but this is now about the underground war and the subterranean war in Dust Warfare. So there you can see the logo of the Rattenkrieg, the Rat War. And Dust Warfare, campaign book Hades. Credits as usual at the beginning of the book, and the table of contents. So what's inside? An introduction, the battle for Sverograd, the assault begins, and rise of the superhumans, which is a new unit type which is introduced with Hades. Then in chapter 1 you have additional rules with new special abilities, new special weapon abilities, and unit upgrades, which is one of the best reasons to get this book actually. Then in chapter 2 you have reinforcements for allied units and Axis units, basically the new units that the Axis and Allies got with this book, because it's not all about the SSU, just like Sverograd. In chapter 3 you've got the SSU, which is kind of repeating what was in Sverograd, leaders, the Seeker of Sverograd, but there are some new things as well in this book, as you will see later on. So how to put together a red platoon, which is the new platoon introduced for the SSU in this book, and then you've got new tanks, new super heavy tanks, a new heavy walker, and Winter Child, which is the superhuman. And then in chapter 4 you have the Hades campaign, and the Hades campaign is it's like it says, it's a fully fledged campaign that you can play in Dust Warfare, and is probably the other great reason to get this book. So let's have a look and see what's inside. So introduction tells you again about campaign books and what they're all about. The battles for Sverograd, the assault begins. Some nice artwork there of troops going into the sewers, not knowing what lays beyond. Some fluff and just introduction to what happened, why are we fighting on the ground. And then we get to this rise of the superhumans, and this introduces Winter Child, or as some people call him, Winter Cheese, because he is incredibly good. This guy is really, really good. This just introduces what happened. It tells you what happened, basically, what were the events that led to the creation of the first superhuman, which was Winter Child. Then we get into chapter 1, additional rules, which introduces new special abilities, which are flight and superhuman and tank riders. Supercharged, which is a cool ability that laser units can use. Phaser, laser, and Tesla units can use that ability. And then we get into special weapon abilities, which are incendiary weapons, Tesla weapon, radiation weapon. And then we get onto unit upgrades, and these are a really good reason to get the Hades book. Because have you ever made an army list that's, for example, for a 300 point game, and it comes to up to about 296, 297 points, and you can't really take another unit, you can't take a hero, there aren't enough points to kind of shoehorn one more unit into your list, sorry. So what do? Well, with these unit upgrades, you can give units, little abilities that make them just a little bit better, and these abilities don't cost very much at all. So you have general unit upgrades, allies unit upgrades, Axis unit upgrades, and SSU unit upgrades. The general upgrades can be taken by any faction, whereas obviously the other ones can only be taken by that particular faction. And there are some pretty good ones in the book, like Rat Fighters, for example, that gives soldiers the climb ability. High visibility lasers, which lets laser units hit on blanks when they reroll their laser hits. You know, there's lots of good stuff in there. So yeah, this is a really good reason to get the Hades book. Okay, more fluff, along with some nice artwork down there. More pictures of SSU units going into battle. And then we get to chapter 2, reinforcements. And this is just the Axis and Allies units, the new stuff that those factions get in this book. There you see the Devil's Own, British Commandos Kill Squad, and Legio Patria Nostra, the French Foreign Legion Kill Squad. And both of these guys actually come in the same box. If you buy, if you buy one box and you get both units in the same box. And then we go into the Jagdgrenadiere and the Laserjagdgrenadiere for the weapons teams for the Axis. And the Axis also get a new walker, the Axis Armoured Transport as well. And you have all the stats for them as well, the Prinz Luther and the Sturmprinz. More artwork, and we go on to the SSU, Chapter 3. Which is, it kind of sort of repeats a little bit of what's in Zverograd, not much of it though, just to reintroduce to things. And then it goes straight into, the Red Guards and how platoons are made, some new weapons as well, more new weapons, how platoons are made up in an SSU army, just kind of refreshing your memory on that, just to be, just for completion's sake. Platoon upgrades, some new platoon upgrades. Well, actually, are they new? I'm not sure. I think they're new. And then we go on to the Red Platoon, which is the new platoon that's introduced in this book. So now the SSU have not just 2 platoons, they have 3 types of platoon, just like the Axis and the Allies do. And there's the new command squad, the Red Command, the Red Guards Command Squad for the Red Platoon. And all their stats, how you make up the platoon, so on and so forth. And some new SSU units. The Red Storm, Red Guards Assault Squad, the Red Thunder, Red Guards Anti-Tank Squad, the IS-5 heavy tanks on this page. Then we go into the IS-48 super heavy tanks. And one thing to know here actually is that this one, the Karl Marx, it says it's 101 AP. That was actually reduced in a recent FAQ. It's now, I think, 90 AP. So it's well worth checking out the FAQ if you plan to play Dust Warfare, because some things have been tweaked, some things have been changed in the game. So it's good to keep up with that. Then you have the KV-3 Heavy Walker, Matryoshka Babushka. So there you can see those 2 walkers over there, and these guys are actually really good. These walkers are pretty damn good. And then you have Winter Child, who gets 2 whole pages to himself because he's the first superhuman and because he's pretty much Iron Man in this game. Except he's not American, he's Russian, but hey. So yep, there you see Winter Child, Colonel Ivan Vasilev. He's a superhuman, he's damage resistant, he's got flight, he's got insane statistics. He's not totally invincible. I mean, this guy can be taken out. It's not completely OP, but at the same time, he is tough. He is pretty much the infantry version of a heavy walker, and the first Soldier 4 unit in the game. So this guy is tough, but he's not impossible to take out. But he is pretty damn good. 12 movement, armor 4, well, infantry 4 I should say, and 6 wounds. So yeah, he's a decent unit. He is also 70 AP, which is really high for an infantry unit, but then he is pretty good. So you have to kind of decide, you have to balance it out. Do you take this guy and swallow up 70 AP in your army, or do you not take him? All those choices you have to make when you put together an army. And then we move on to Chapter 4, the Hades campaign, which is basically an entire campaign that can be played. You and your mates can get stuck into this. It's even got a section about gaming group management. What happens if a player's absent, if a player drops out, if there's not enough players, all that kind of stuff. Determine, starting positions. It tells you how to play the campaign. Determining patrol games, 6-player campaigns, all that kind of stuff. And then it just goes on to different phases: the battle phase, the platoon management phase, you see a map there, a Zverograd Metro map. How to update the map, you know, all this kind of stuff. There's even a new battle builder as well for the Hades campaign. And I'm not sure if you could use this in a regular game of Dust Warfare. You probably could. I mean, I've never tried myself, but you probably could use this in a regular Dust Warfare game if you're not playing the campaign, and see what happens. And then there's deployment as well, and you know, all the bits and pieces, you know, deployment conditions, all that stuff for the battle builder. And then you have overviews of each district, basically describing each part of Zverograd. And here you can see a map of Zverograd, which, I mean, you could probably scan this or photocopy it and blow it up and, you know, stick it on the wall. It doesn't actually say, you know, permission to copy, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, between you and me, I don't think Fantasy Flight would mind too much if you just, you know, if you printed this out just to stick it up on your wall. You know, if you photocopied it or something, just so you could track, you know, where everything is, who's got the control of what, and all that stuff. And I think this map is also the basis of the current worldwide Zverograd campaign as well at Dust League. So yeah, it's a decently made map, decently thought out campaign. And then just more descriptions of all the bits and pieces, all the places in Zverograd. More artwork as well. Parks districts. Again, more photos. And then we get onto this bit. These sheets can be printed out and or downloaded and printed out from dustwarfare.com. And this is the Platoon tracking sheet, the Hades campaign tracking sheet. And then you've got some nice SSU versus Axis action going on in the back here with Winterchild leading a force of SSU against some zombies, Yaba. And you can see a walker in the background. You can see the Yaganadira there as well. So, you know, nicely showing off all the new stuff from Hades. And then you have the usual force weapon list at the back. Quick reference just to show you what all the weapons do, and some new unit markers. And these sheets can be downloaded from dustwarfare.com. Flying soldier unit markers and landed soldier unit markers, and then the usual advert at the back, and that's it. So that is campaign book Hades. Another great campaign book, well worth getting if you play Dust Warfare. And yeah, get into Dust Warfare, check it out. So as always, subscribe if you want to be informed of when the next video will come out on this channel. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and I will see you in the next video. So until then, see ya.